Are you stuck in your life right now? Are things feeling really heavy? Do you feel like you can never get out? Let me tell you something. You can get out. You just have to know what to look for. So when we're in a bad spot and we're stuck in our head and we're stuck in our relationships, maybe we're stuck in our job, we're stuck in our health, we're stuck in a bad point in our life where we need things to improve and we need things to get better and they're just not. And we don't see anything changing. It's very easy to fall into this idea and fall into this trap that just because things haven't happened yet and things haven't changed yet, that means they are never going to. Okay, that's a false perception that anxiety puts over your mind. It puts that filter over your mind and it shifts your perception into this idea that things can't and won't get better. I'm here to tell you that is not the case. You just have to know what to look for and where to look for the right things. Hi, I'm Mike. I've had OCD and anxiety for the past 10 years of my life, and I've turned that turmoil into tools, and I share what worked for me with you. What you want to look for is you want to remind yourself, and the main focus of this particular tool is things will get better little choices at a time, right? And so what that means is there's not going to be these big bombastic changes that are going to take place. In some cases, that might very well may be, right? There might be these very big changes that happen all of a sudden, very quickly, right? That can happen in life, both good and bad, right? But when it comes to self-improvement, when it comes to life improvement, it is very often the little choices compounded over time that make the biggest difference. And so a lot of people discount the smallest choices and aren't giving themselves credit for the things that are going right and for the things that they're doing right in their life. I'm here to tell you, as stuck as you may feel, I want you to remind yourself and think about all the things that are going right in your life and remind yourself about all the things that you are doing right in your life, okay? I'm sure you can think of some, right? I'm sure you can think of things that actually are going right and things that you are doing right. And so you get your mind frame into shifting into that motivational state of, okay, things aren't where I want them to be at the moment, but they're not where they once were. So you're keeping that in mind and how far that you've come. And then the next thing is, as I said, you remind yourself, okay, what little things can I do that can improve my life? It could be the smallest things like making your bed in the morning. It could be something as just, if you're going on a diet, not eating as much. Even if you're still not eating the right foods, it's eating a little bit less. If you're trying to improve and you're struggling with anxiety, it could be something as simple as doing something despite your anxiety telling you not to. Even something that's really small. Even if it's just these little pockets of peace that you're experiencing, these little pockets of success. Do not discount, okay, the progress of incremental success. Even the smallest increments will matter over the long run, right? It's like investing, even if it's just changing pennies, even if it's just changing by $1, $2. Over time, that makes the big difference. So when you look at the big picture and you do the little things right, that's when things get better. It's the little choices that are within your control. And that's going to vary from person to person, from situation to situation. So you ask yourself, what little things and little choices can I make that are well within my control that can help my life improve in whatever situation I'm currently stuck in? And when you ask yourself these questions, you will get an answer. Right? Some cases it might be right away. Some cases it might be later on in the day. Sometimes it might be later on in that week. But I'm telling you, when you ask your brain a question, it will come up with an answer. Okay? So if you can simply ask that better question, what little things that are well within my control that I can do, that I will do, that can help improve my life? Okay? Things get better little choices at a time. Okay? And another quote that I had that complements that is that the effort of the attempt is progress. Okay, so the effort of attempting something is in and of itself progress, even if you don't succeed right away. The fact that you've even tried in and of itself is progress towards the goal. So whatever that goal is, as I said, it could be dieting, it could be something with your mental health, it could be something with your relationships, with your health, with your job. Whatever little choice that you're making, even if it didn't necessarily go right, the effort of that attempt in and of itself is progress. So you keep that in mind. You look for those little things, you look for those little attempts or those little progressive moments, and they will add up and you will get better the more that you make these little choices. And you have to have the patience to be able to remind yourself of this. You have to be able to have the patience of being able to put forth that effort, put forth that attempt again and again and again without seeing any visible progress, right? The easiest analogy that I can think of is going to the gym, right? When you go to the gym for the first time, you go to the gym for the first week, even for the first month, right? Even beyond that, you don't see any visible progress, right? You don't go to the gym and run on the treadmill for 20 minutes and do, 30 lat pull downs and then look in the mirror and all of a sudden you start to see progress, right? You put your trust in the fact that if I continue to do this consistently, if I continue to make these choices consistently over time, I will see that progress. That same principle, that same philosophy works with almost any other decisions and any other goals in your life, is being able to consistently show up for yourself without seeing any visible progress, and having the patience and the trust to know that visual progress, that visual success, and whatever it is that you're looking for, whatever goal you're trying to achieve, will come later on in life. And so you have the patience to wait for that and to trust that even though I don't see things getting better right now, even though I don't see any visible progress, I know that if I keep making these little choices, these little decisions, that over time things are going to get better. And the more that you show up for yourself, and the more that you don't discount what you're doing right, and the more that you don't discount the effects of incremental progress, right? And continuing to make the effort of the attempts of trying to make things better in your life. It builds that emotional resiliency that even if the attempt doesn't go the way that you want it to, you can truly try again the next time, and again and again and again. That's how the most successful people in this world get to where they are, right? Whether it's athletes, whether it's people, CEOs of big companies, is they keep trying again and again and again, even hundreds, thousands of times, and trusting that incremental progress will lead to something later on down the line. Look, life doesn't always give us answers, okay? But it gives us moments like these, and it gives us these opportunities that we can use to build tools and lighthouses that we can use later on down in life to help better our lives in some way. And that's what this channel is all about. I'm sharing the things that I have struggled with over the years and the tools that I have been able to create in the turmoil and in the trenches to be able to help my life struggling with anxiety, with stress. As I said, I've struggled with OCD, that we can use, as I said, later on at some point in our lives that can help enrich our lives and help us to get back on course. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, hit that subscribe button. And again, keep moving forward, literally one step at a time. Even if it's 4 steps forward, 3 steps back, 5 steps forward, 6 steps back, the incremental progress will all add up, kid. But you gotta have the trust, you have to have the grit to continue to move through that, all right? I'll talk to you later. I wanna talk about the effort of the attempt is progress, man. How many times I hit the record button? My gosh, everyone decided to walk their dog this morning. So the dogs everyone's going through and they're having a whole orchestra out there barking. So I had to hit the record button like 19 times and reminded myself, oh, the effort of the attempt is progress, even though there's dogs in the way. I mean, but it really is true. It's super practical when you think about it, because it's like there's these little decisions that people just don't want to make, right? It's the smallest thing. Again, making your bed, eating something healthy, making those little small decisions, doing something you don't want to do, that makes all of the difference. Like, yeah, it's challenging, but like, it's not hard, Oh, look, yep, there's another dog going by. I'll tell you, wild.